Hello. Welcome to IMHO.
In my homosexual opinion.
God, I'm Darby.
And I'm Alexis P. Bevels, and lean in real close, friends, because the P today stands for puddles. Now, I usually think puddles are majestic little pools of wonder and mysticism and just possibility.
Holes with water.
Really.
Right.
I usually find puddles to be so sweet, and sometimes they're flowing. Like there's
that's a river.
Lots of flowing puddles today, and
Sure.
I just think they're so magical. Well, Saturday morning, I was going back to work, and I had completely finished my move, dropped keys off, cleared out the
Beautiful.
old place. Actually, Kevin did it, so thanks you to Kevin.
Well, what else is he going to use those muscles for? We've
Thank
seen
you.
it.
Exactly. I took extra care. I blew out my hair. That took a long time.
You look great. I
made
love this
sure-
hair.
Thank you so much. I did my makeup, and I wore my nice new dress, and I was wearing a brand new pair of tights and a brand new pair of shoes. And I'm scooting along, and I see a construction thing, and you know how sometimes there's like cones like sectioning off, like don't come near. This one there was space in between, and it was a tight squeeze, but I knew I could do it. I scooted betwixt the space, and then I started to lose my balance, and on the left was road with cars, and on the right was mud. And I don't exactly remember what happened. It all went so fast. But
Right.
I think I maybe meant to go for the brake, but I hit the speed and I sped up, and then I tried to jump off, but past the mud, there was a giant, say it with me, puddle. And I flew hands first directly into a puddle, and I skidded. In my Sunday best, it was Saturday, but I was in my Sunday best. You understand?
Yeah,
I
church
have
isn't
here, trigger warning, I'm going to show you my skid marks.
I've seen them.
Look at this. I have like all these bruises. I have all these, look at that. Trigger warning.
Alexis, I thought you were being dramatic.
No, it hurt, bitch. I was so hurt. You know when you're a kid and something happens and you just start crying because you're like panicking? Well,
Sure,
I sat there for a second trying to wrap my mind around what happened because it was so fast. And I actually do think I usually have a good reaction time, but I did not this time. I hear a voice back here, a man's voice say, "Are you okay?" And I didn't look at him. I just go, "Yes." Huge mistake. That could have been the love of my life. Let that up.
What a nice, yeah. I would love that. How did you meet your wife? Well, she fell in a puddle, face first.
It's adorable.
On a scooter.
Scooter was fine, by the way. Scooter did not get in the puddle.
I have a question. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Can I finish the story?
Of course. I apologize.
I'm so
It's very
sorry. I
short.
just want to tell you that.
I love how quick it is.
I sit there for a second. I realize I'm sitting in water. I want to say like 5 inches of water. A lot of water. I get up. Yeah. I tell Siri to call. Sorry. I tell you who to call my manager at work because I was on my way to work and I'm clearly not going anymore. I can't find my phone. Not in my bag, not in the little pocket I keep it. Okay. I realize it's in the puddle and I'm doing this. I'm back in the puddle, feet in the puddle, mud. LA street mud water, trying to find it. I'm calling her. It's still working. And then I see it at the other end. It flew all the way into the water. Spent a good 30 seconds, maybe even a minute in the water. And I'm like crying. It was awful. It was awful, Darby, and I saw my laugh flash before my eyes.
Now, when you texted me that, it did make me laugh, but my favorite part was...
I said, it's not funny right now, but I do recognize that it's funny.
She sent me the video of the After Effects that is now on TikTok, and of course,
it's on TikTok.
We'll play it right here.
Absolutely. TikTok. It's almost 100,000 views. I'm viral.
Really? You fallen in a puddle? You do look like you're actually crying, though. I
think crying. I was in shock.
People love tears. People love pain.
I was scared.
Well, you sent me the video, and you go, "I'm going to post it to TikTok later, but I can't right now because I know it's funny, but right now it's not." And I said, "I know it's not funny to you right now, but it's funny to me right now."
My knees are hurt. They're sore. It was awful.
Well, get off your knees, bitch. We have fun here. We have fun.
Anyway, how were you? I had to get it out. I'm sorry.
I'm so good. No, thank you for telling the story. I loved the video. I'm glad you're okay. And okay. I just want to explain we're doing COVID again. Not because we have COVID, but because Los Angeles is having a torrential downpour. I have a puddle in my ceiling. okay? The drag room where we film and where, let's be honest, I get creative, is leaking. A lot of it is leaking. And so now I have just like this gorgeous, like, what do you call it? A trash bag that is catching the water, and it's draining down, and it's really beautiful. I've always wanted a fountain indoors, but
water feature.
Unfortunately, water feature, they're so good. Unfortunately, we couldn't film in it. And also, it is raining so hard. The last thing I wanted to do was to allow you out in it, because let's be honest, you fell in that puddle on a really beautiful day. So that's you on a good day. Before we get into the episode, I do have one last thing I want to bring up, and it is about puddle safety. God. No, I'm not going to go into detail right now. I did talk about it a little on the Patreon podcast, and one day I am going to have my twin brother on to talk about it. But at time of filming, my twin brother is no longer a pastor. He is transitioning out of the church, both personally and professionally. I'm thrilled. I gotta be sorry, Christians. We got him. And
it does kind of seem like he's going through a deprogramming of sorts. Like he's out of a cult, and
100%.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty traumatic experience. He told me I could say that. And unfortunately, because that is such well, you've already said it, a cult-like environment, the town that they live in has not been all that accepting of them. So here's the deal. He has a degree in Bible, okay? His only work is church, and he's looking for a job outside of religion and church, and his resume says Bible. So I said, I will announce on the internet that you were looking for a job and you have 4 kids and they're beautiful, but they need money to live. They're very expensive. He was like, are you sure? I don't want you to... And I said, please let me. God, I'm an incredible person. And you'll know that now that Jesus is dead to you. So I do want to just put out feelers. If you live in Orlando, first of all, so sorry. But if you are in the Orlando, Florida area and you are looking for someone who is great at using communication, storytelling, working with people, building relationships, creative problem solving, and leading others. Also, if you want other skills like marketing, messaging, fundraising, staff hiring and training, staff management and development, recruit and train volunteers, and project management, I've got someone for you. Listen, my brother, if you think I'm funny and smart, my brother, God, this pains me to say, is so much funnier than me and is so much smarter than me. And he's dynamic. Like, I hated going to his church, but I loved going because my brother is such a dynamic speaker. I think he would be great. I'm just making this up. I think he'd be a great trainer or work in hospitality, anything where he is in front of people. I'm just so proud of my brother, and I want him to have a job. So if anyone in Orlando has any ideas of how to help ex-Bible, then let me know. Thank you so much.
I'm just really happy for you. You know, the rest of your family is garbage, and it feels like you're getting one of them back.
And I got the good one. I got the twin. Yeah. I'm so excited for him to go on this journey, but I also know how painful this is for him. I deprogrammed 20 years ago. So this is also fresh and new. And, now internet is so much better than it used to be. So at least he has resources to... You know what he told me? You know that I've talked about him on the show 1,000 times. Dan McClellan, this TikTok Bible scholar that I'm obsessed with and would absolutely do anything with. He's so tall and nerdy. He was like, I've been listening to this guy, Dan McClellan. And I was like, bitch, I sent you that, bitch.
And on one real quick thing, I was talking to my mom yesterday, just on the note of family.
Yeah.
My mom, we were talking about something she needs to do before the summer. And she was like, oh, I'm going to do it this summer. And I was like, oh, what's this summer? She said, oh, do you know your cousin? I'll change her name just in case she doesn't want to. Chanel.
Sure. Chanel!
My dad's side, which is all Trumper, whatever, except for 2 cousins, Tina and Teresa. I'll say their names because they're cool. Teresa's daughter is getting married.
They sound like a club act.
Oh, girl. My dad's Trumper sisters, I've told you, Signa, Twyla.
Yeah, that's tough.
So my cousin's daughter's getting married, and my mom's going, and she said that I'm going to be invited. And I said... Does she know about me? About my new boobies and my...
About your tits?
All of it? She said, yeah. She said, we're the only family from that side being invited because they're not Trumper cults members. And
That's
I was
so
like,
exciting.
that's kind of cool. Where is it? It's going to be in Oklahoma City. And I might go.
If you're going to Oklahoma City, I'm going with you, and we're going to go make the I've Had It podcast girlies be on the show. Aren't they in Oklahoma City? They're in Oklahoma somewhere. How big is Oklahoma?
Oh, but you could be my +1. That would be so nice.
Oh, no, I'm not going to the wedding, but I will sit in the hotel and go, I'm glad I did this. So let's talk about Drag Race, shall we?
Yes.
This was such a good episode to me. I loved every moment.
I was going to say, are you following the Bob versus Maddie Morphosis stuff?
Yes, I'm glad you brought it up. The Maddie Morphosis wig was camp. And it's Maddie's whole vibe, just like weird, kind of funny, dumb shit. And that's what it was. So I said that on internet because I was like, for those of you who don't get that, Dax, why don't you understand this? Anyway, but everyone's saying your best friend's the queen of camp. Does she think that Maddie's look was camp? And we're waiting. Was it camp?
Yeah. I think the hair was camp. Hair done by Hair Witch. Incredible. At Hair Witch on Instagram. I love her. I also think she's camp. So it's kind of, camp is kind of hard to pin down.
If the queen of camp can't pin it down, none of us can. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You can only pin it down like that wig, which is a lot of pins, but probably hard to stay. Did you hear Bob's verse towards her and then Maddie's response of diss track?
I did.
Trend alert, diss tracks. I think they're all just having good fun.
I don't think they're actually mad at each other. On it.
But 100%. It's really fun. Speaking of fighting girls, well, I guess we'll get to it later.
The beginning to this episode of Drag Race was such a beautiful thing because when it started, and I'll be honest, I don't love watching people cry about a reality TV show. I get it that they're in this little vacuum and they're all sleep deprived, so I would probably be sobbing as well. But they come in after Mirage's elimination, they're all crying, right? Everyone's crying. Everyone's just feeling the emotion.
Yeah.
And then they go to sit down. Everyone's still feeling very vulnerable. Plasma's talking about her win. She can't believe it. Then we cut to Q. And everyone's been crying about Mirage and losing a sister. And then Q's crying about, I'm always so close to winning, but I'm not winning. I'm always at the top, but it's like they'll never notice me. And I loved they cut to all these girls' faces and everyone was just like... And then I gotta be honest, in a moment that I really enjoyed from Plain, not Jane, she goes by Plain, which is insane. Maybe I should rap.
You should make a good track.
Was like, well, I'm not going to complain or cry. I was in the top and I didn't win, but yeah, I'm really happy. I'm not going to complain about it.
The difference is she already won one.
But that was great.
No.
What was your thoughts on Q crying? What did you think?
No, that was silly. I would have, if I were there in the moment, I'd have been like, okay. All right, moving on. Her feelings are valid. They were extra. Plain saying that was funny, but it's also like, okay, but you also won one. So, like, don't rub it in her face. Like, let's just move on. But I'm a pacifist.
Oh, okay. I'm a pescatarian. This episode is the girl groups. We don't need to get into all the like about it. There is a mini challenge. Ru has an autobiography out.
Yes.
Cool.
Books.
It's The Secret of Thoughts or whatever.
Going deep in the house.
Keeping your house with all the secrets
house
in
hunters.
It. So they do this like mini challenge, whatever. The mini challenge was dumb, but the thing that made me laugh. The picture that was going around on social media of Geneva in that little wig and everyone who said it, I think it was Dawn, was like, I know she's got some Kohl's cash or something. Like someone said she looked like she goes to Marshall's. And I completely agree. It made me laugh. Let's just skip forward, shall we? To just them getting ready. Is there anything that like happened?
Megami got picked last and she was kind of pissed about it.
They are sleep deprived. So I think everyone's emotions are at a 10 all the time, including Q before crying about not winning. I think everyone's just kind of on edge.
And then we do,
speaking you were Q, picked last. Like we all were, babe. That's why we do drag now. No one expected anything good from us.
And they still shouldn't. We should keep those expectations pretty low.
I don't think anyone is expecting that. Can we move forward to the get ready with
we got
section?
The get ready. Q decides to go up to Plain Jane and say, do you remember when you just like instantly stepped on my feelings and that didn't feel good? And Plain was like, well, honey, I respect you so much more than I respect Amanda. And it just came out of literally nowhere. It was just unnecessarily cruel, like stupid. And so Amanda good girl, stood up for herself and said, why are you such a cunt?
She goes, why are you such a cunt? Honestly. I was like, answer the woman. Answer that lady. I would like to know.
So
and
unnecessary.
Q was just in the middle. She was like, oh, this isn't about me anymore.
Well, and then Plain tried to gaslight and say, who am I talking to right now? You or her? And it's like, bitch, you just spit Amanda's name out onto the floor. You brought her into this. Yeah. Don't backpedal. What I loved was the conversation after Sapphira came in. Do you want to tell?
Yeah. So as mother, she was like, so I've noticed that you've had a lot of misunderstandings based on your communication. Could that be an issue? And Plain, to her credit, does say, I mean, she is mother, so I'm obviously going to listen to her. My issue was Plain's response to Sapphira was basically, yeah, it happens. I don't know. And I take issue with that. I take umbrage with that because both with Q, because she was like, it wasn't my intention. And Q's like, that doesn't matter. It did make me feel bad. It's the impact versus intention. You know, I love that. So her inability to take responsibility for her impact is wild to me. And then when Sapphira's like, you say a lot of really mean things, huh? And she's like, yeah, but I mean, I guess that maybe I should work on that. I don't know. And then they cut to her talking head and she's like, I'm going to have fun. I can't see the character anymore. I'm starting to believe that's who she is.
And Jane?
Is she just rotted? Is she just really a bitch?
She's a demon twink who may have grown up a little, but is still giving demon twink vibes and values. You know how girls would come up to you at gigs or little gay twinks would come up to you and immediately shit on you because they think that is comedy? We need to teach gay people that comedy is not the same as being a huge bitch. And if you don't have comedy, just be nice. Just be nice. People will like you better.
Yeah, do like Alexis does. She's just nice, and then she says really fucked up shit, and it happens to be funny.
Yeah. Well, did you have any special thoughts about the girl groups? I think the first one was
Q, Dawn, Sapphira, and Morphine, and they were Star Baby. Morphine looked incredible, I gotta say. Yeah. I was obsessed.
I liked her choreo.
She looked a lot like you, green. Sapphira stole the show for me, as far as I'm concerned. 100%. She's so incredible. I loved her verse. Honestly, Dawn, I thought, did really great.
Yeah.
Her little weird energy, I was into it. And that tiny little waist, oh, I thought she was about to snap in half. I love that shit.
Sapphira was the one I was looking at the most until Dawn's verse.
And then let's talk about Q. Now, you don't understand this because you are a dancer and you're very talented. I'm like Q, sort of a mover, but if I have to stop at any moment during the song, I'm going to need a couple beats to get back to the rhythm of the song because I'm what? White. I don't know if you noticed. I understand her trepidation. Now, what was funny to me was I don't know that she's aware of that because when she was walking down the runway for the rehearsal, the girls were saying she looked like Frankenstein. And I have to be honest, they're wrong because Frankenstein's actually the name of the doctor, if you read the books. It's the monster is what they meant, but that's okay. But I agree. She looked like Frankenstein's monster. And I wonder, does she know that that's what she looks like? And what was that outfit? It's just, she's done such great. This was so...
That outfit was not great, yeah.
I loved her singing voice. I think she has a great voice.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't mind her verse.
Then we go to Lava Girls.
Oh, Plasma actually started off. She was really good.
Plasma, she started the choreography, but she talked really quickly and wasn't really letting people in on what they were supposed to do. I did like when Tsunami was like, stop talking so fast. I did enjoy that. Thankfully, Amanda stepped in and was like, I'll help you, girl. Well, she probably said, I'll help you, girl.
Yeah,
that's my Amanda.
I liked that part. I thought that was fun.
I thought Plasma looked great. I want a bigger hair. I want a bigger hair. But she looked good.
I love watching Amanda. I just wish she had fastened her wig back. Like,
who let her go out like that? I honestly want to know. Like, did she not have any friends backstage?
Yeah, just
not a single person.
Just put a couple of pins in it and make it like a half up pony something.
Wear a ponytail yeah.
She's so good. I think that those moves were just like to get the hair out of her face. It just looked a little sloppy, which I think that they agreed. But I liked her verse. I loved
She's
how
an incredible
dancer.
Yeah,
she's kinky.
Great.
She played Kinky Boots.
I think this is a very common storyline we get on Drag Race, though, is when people are really good at something, it's what they're known for. They then fail at that challenge or whatever. I'm sorry, did you get mail?
I got 2 texts.
Oh no, was it the doctor? I felt bad for her because she is such a good performer. But yeah, that wig was rotted. Burn it, baby, burn it.
Yeah.
It probably combusted when she was done. It burned itself. I really loved Tsunami. I thought she looked incredible. She has one of those voices, much like mine. There's not a lot of life in it, okay? We have to work hard to put life into it. So I did feel like her verse kind of fell flat, but I thought she did a great job and she looked gorgeous.
Yeah, I liked everyone. I thought Plain was good too.
I thought Plain was incredible. I'm sorry. That's, again, I think what makes it such good TV, because the person we hate is also really good at what they do. I really enjoyed their verse and I thought they were great.
Did you see the clip of Bob the Drag Queen, speaking of Bob, saying like they're sick of people being stupid, like pushing this? Did you see that? And what do you think of that?
Yeah, so Bob and Monet, during their review, Bob said that they were tired of the stupid humor just for stupidity purposes. Like that they heard, oh, you're so stupid, you're so dumb. And that's like where people are trying to take it when they're not actually stupid or dumb. Using Willow Pill's toaster in the tub, which will kill you, by the way, as an example of it done well and authentically. Anyway, so she's like, Burger Finger, what is that? And then Plain Jane shot back, because she does. I've been doing that number for years before I was on this show. And then I don't know, she said something shitty because that's what she does. And then Bob just responded like, LOL, okay, girl. I agree with Bob in that I think it would be really strange if like Maya suddenly decided to like fart in the middle of a number. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But Plain does kind of give that energy that like she's been doing that for years. And I gotta be honest, Burger Finger does it for me. Burger Finger is good to me.
Okay, cool. I agree with Bob on the Burger Finger side of it all. I just thought it was like weird. You know what? Maybe I don't get it. Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe if I saw it live, maybe it would be
I don't think there's
different.
anything to get. Do I think it's like a commentary or something that's going to stick with me because I thought it was a brilliant choice, like Willow's Suey's cosplay? No. But did it make me laugh in under 60 seconds on a reality TV show? Yeah, it did. Then the final group is Thick and Stick. And this was the group that everyone discounted, which again, it's another reality TV trope, and it was done really well. And they killed it.
I thought they were great. I loved seeing Maya. Like, that's what she does. She was in her element. She looked great.
I liked Maya a lot. Again, like, I didn't always expect that from her. I guess I should start.
Well, yeah. She's just so quiet. She's so quiet.
When they were doing the rehearsal, she was kind of like whispering to them, and they were off to the side going, is she talking? I think it was Saphira that was like, well, they got ASMR Lover as their song, so I guess they're rehearsing in it too. That's funny.
Right. Megami really surprised me. I really liked Megami's verse.
Me too. And I love the storyline. I love that storyline of like, I was picked last and you didn't believe in me. And I got to be honest, as an audience member, I did not either. Because the only like performance we've seen from her is like using a flag to hold on tightly and forget that you have cue cards. I did not have high hopes, but I enjoyed her so much.
Nymphia was incredible.
Nymphia was so good. For me, part of me, she was my winner.
Yeah.
I liked Geneva. I thought she started off really strong, but
there were
better. She started off really strong.
Well, yeah. Should we get into these looks?
Yeah. So the category is Faster Pussycat Wig.
Which is Pussycat wigs.
Is that why you're wearing that hair?
Yeah. Is that why you're wearing that hair?
No, I've been watching a lot of the Golden Girls. And can I tell you, when we were in Lake Tahoe, I was taking a shower, because I have to. And when I came out of the shower, Curtis was watching Golden Girls on the TV, which that's never been his thing. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, this show's really funny. And I was like, yeah, what the fuck? Why did you think we were watching it? And he's like, I don't know, you just like old ladies. Which, to be fair,
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Rest in peace, Cheetah Rivera. Let's do it. Let's pussycat, baby.
All right, let's start with Q. She's kind of Joan of Arc. She's like a vampire. I mean, this looks incredible.
Wow. She's always going to deliver, except, during the challenge. But yes, I loved it.
Plasma, she was like Hermes, like a goddess of like doing stuff. I loved it.
I didn't understand it, but I gotta be honest. I love gold things. I love that she spray painted some headphones gold. That's fashion to me.
Do you remember
I thought it was too much going on, I guess. I didn't like how her leg things were so loose. I wanted them to be tight. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I guess. I wasn't really looking at that.
Oh, I guess you could call them boots. I called them leg things.
I just like the dress. The dress part was cute to me. Plain Jane was a slutty, she was a slutty gas
Are you
mask.
having a stroke?
She's in a gas mask and she's slutty.
I mean, it's a kind of look that we've seen before, but I loved those big giant titties. It was like she was breathing in her titty air, and that's kind of hot.
Oh, yeah. I think she's got I like her figure.
She knows her body very well. Yeah.
Yeah. Tsunami Muse. I wasn't sure if I liked it, and then when they told me that they liked it, I liked it.
I wasn't sure when she turned around, but then as she started to come closer to me, and I was like, hang on. I really liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really simple and beautifully done. And she was giving off major, like, butch vibes.
Yes.
And
butch.
that was hot.
Yeah.
That was hot.
Maya Iman LePage, she had pointy. This was fine. Very safe.
It looked like it was something she already had in her closet. I feel like she's worn that and flipped in the street or whatever before. It didn't feel like a runway look.
Right.
To me.
It felt like it could have been in the girls group challenge.
And it also she could have worn it with any wig. Like, why was that your pussycat outfit?
Yeah. Dawn, she had the like mushroom pussycat wig. She was going to the mall.
I'm happy the judges went with it. I got worried that they'd be like, what the fuck is this? I really loved it.
Yeah.
I love how, again, I've said this 1,000 times. I love how she can take the chaos and then create some cohesion within it that is only visible to her.
That's what I was going to say.
It's crazy to me. Also, Michelle, shut up. I love you. Looked great. I loved your hair. But she wears elf ears. That's her character. And when she's off the show, she's going to wear elf ears. Doesn't take away from the look.
Did you see what Rock'em Sakura posted about how that moment broke her heart? Because Nymphia talked about Breaking Wind and Michelle fucking loved it. But that was kind of the reason they chose to telegraph that Rock'em was kicked off.
Yeah.
That's sad. I love Rock'em. Speaking of Nymphia Wind, holy crap. Hers was so good.
Talk us through it.
Okay. We had a hat. Then we had a wig. Then we had...
Wait, what was the wig?
It was a black wig, and I think it was a cat, right?
It was a cat. We saw another cat wig earlier, and we'll talk about that in a second. This one was sculpted and gorgeous, and I loved it.
Then she took that off, and it was a red sculptured wig.
Gorgeous.
And then she took that off. She was in a bald cap. She turned around, and there was a rhinestone pussy. Excuse me.
Get it? Pussy cat wig? It was a pussy. It was a pussy.
What'd you think of her kind of strategy of like pretending to be a little bit of the fool, and then when it gets down to it, it's like, no, she knows how to do stuff.
I don't think that's true. I know the girls said like, ooh, she's playing the game. She's pretending she can't do stuff, and then she could just do it. I think she can just do stuff. I think she truly... I don't think she gives herself enough credit. I don't know that she's like trying... Because what would she gain from that? Truly, what would she gain from that?
True, yeah. It's a game. I don't mind the idea of her holding her cards close to her chest. You know,
do you think she is?
Maybe not here. I agree with you. Maybe not here, but definitely the design challenge. Because she was walking around, doing whatever, and they were like, "Girl, are you done?" And she's like, "Oh, I'll finish it later." Remember, she was.
Yeah. Again, that read to me as just she's doing her own thing, and she doesn't necessarily. Yeah, and she doesn't necessarily like need to broadcast it. That's what I think.
Work.
It's confidence.
This was incredible.
And I think some people have never seen it before in themselves.
Speaking of other cat wig, we've got Saphira Crystal. It's a pussycat wig that she takes off, and it's a cat.
She turns it around while it's on her head. We see the head is in the back. And then she lifts up what we think is like a little messy bang, and it reveals it's the cat's tail, and we see the butthole. That was gorgeous. That was a moment.
And then she's dragged.
I'm sorry.
And then she's dragged Dr. Evil.
That is a reference that hits people our age right in our pussy. Like, we love it. And I understand young people are probably like, I don't understand what she was doing. I thought it was so fucking brilliant. She is so clever.
She's so clever. She's so good.
She got rejected 11 times for this show. She's auditioned 11 times.
That doesn't make sense to me.
No.
But it does make sense to why she's so good.
Well,
maybe she spent all that time using that time wisely, getting really good.
Putting buttholes on her head. Yeah.
Morphine loved Dion.
Jesus Christ.
This is what I'm talking about. Finally, the runway matches the beauty of the face, I feel.
I agree. I mean, well, last week was really good, but this was so clever as well. And it was the second time on this episode we saw Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman.
Oh, that's true. Maya did one too. That's interesting.
Yeah, Maya did it for her book.
I think that's a cat coincidence.
Read that book.
What do you think of Geneva Carr? She was kind of a flapper with black accents, but also this kind of Lisa Frank leopard.
I found it very confusing.
Yeah.
I liked the Lisa Frank pops. I thought that was kind of fun, but the mesh body and I found it very confusing.
The tights cutting it off at the ankle is just the thing I keep looking at.
I found it very confusing.
Yeah, not my favorite.
Wait. I found it very confusing.
Speaking of confusing, a mandatory meetings, Robin's egg net.
Okay.
You know what? I love her mind. I'm not mad at this idea. I just don't think she sold it well enough. And I also think maybe the makeup and the other two heads could have done better. It could have been a better executed.
I did not hate it when she came out. I was like, oh, that's so funny. I was happy to ride the ride with her. But you're right. The makeup, which we know, we've said 1,000 times, it'll be there one day. She's just not there yet. What bothered me was that when the judges are talking about the look and like, I don't understand how this is a pussycat wig, which like obviously it is. What are you talking about?
Well, it is a pussycat wig.
She didn't really have an explanation. Like it was just like, yes. I think if she had sold it, and I get it, her confidence has been beat to the ground. But I think had she really sold it and explained it and maybe put like a funny twist on it, well, no, it's still, I mean, her makeup was still
No, I agree. I feel like if she'd have sold it a little bit better, had a little more confidence in it, because I think it's kind of cute. What bothers me is just the execution, because the blue heads
skirt thing
being completely blue look like she's just got anime pigtails from afar, and it also looks like she's got a beard. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, like Ru said, the details matter.
Yeah.
Did Ru say that? Well, she believes it.
And she got her eggs scrambled for the last time.
She did.
Megami, I thought she was cute. I thought it was
there's a backstory here.
Tell me.
Her costume for this runway, she said, literally fell apart on her way to California.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm guessing her costume was the plane she was flying in. I'm not sure. So she had to make that last minute in the hotel. Is that the dress from Fashion Nova that I bought you one and I bought me one? Is it?
It does look similar, but
it looks very similar.
I don't think it is
honestly,
the same.
I did not know the backstory when I watched the episode. She looked beautiful, and I liked that it was like a fairy thing, and I was on board with that. I was like, she's so gorgeous, but it wasn't great. She was very lucky that they won. But once I heard that she had to make it last minute, I was like, okay.
Oh yeah, I'm just hearing that now. That's breaking news for me. But if she did what I wish Amanda could have done. She said, I spent a lot of money on these tattoos. I want everyone to see them. So she like kind of twisted it and made it like, oh, that's why she's wearing that see-through thing. Great.
Yeah, she was able to put the spin on it.
Yeah.
Which tells me she's a seasoned performer because she's had to do that a lot. We all do. Oh yeah, I meant to look like this.
We do have so we're not doing any what's that word?
You okay?
What's that word? When they got those vial liquid, not extermination.
The immunity vials.
Nobody else gets immunity for winning.
I'm so bored because the two people who got it don't need it. That is so boring to me. Let's be honest. You're playing for $200,000. You are not going to use that on someone else. Like, you're going to use it for yourself. I'm just bored because the stakes for that have not been high or even cooked at this point. It's just kind of like a fun little aside that Rue gets to do each time. Had it gone to, Geneva almost won the first episode she was on. Had she won, that would have been very interesting because she probably would have already used it by now. But unfortunately, they're just too good. Yeah. It's boring.
We do have a winner. The winner, it's the whole third group. It's Nymphia.
It's Thick and Stick wins.
Yes.
Thick and Stick.
I'm so happy for them.
I'm happy for them. However, they have to split the $5,000.
I did the math. You want to know what it is?
$1,250.
Yeah, that's right.
I did that literally right at that moment.
Okay, well, you were literally a teacher, and I was but a student. For a short time.
This show, they're playing for $200,000, and it's on MTV. Okay, you can't afford to give the girls $5,000 each. Or what I would have preferred, if I'm being quite honest, I would have preferred that team to win so that they're all immediately safe and can leave. But I would have preferred one of them be the winner.
Yeah.
I would have liked Nymphia to be the winner. For me.
Yeah.
Part of me.
She's already won twice, though, right? Two times?
I don't know. Give her another one. We get the judging, and then we get the infamous question. Who do you think should go home?
Yeah.
This one was actually pretty chill because there was two pretty obvious answers. I really liked Saphira, what she said. She said, Amanda is a great girl, but this is not where you grow, or she still has a lot of growing to do and you don't grow on this show. And I really appreciated that because that's how I feel about Amanda. I simply adore her, but every time we get to the runway, she's going to shoot herself in the foot. There's just not going to be a chance for her to have a good runway in her current state. It was Amanda and Q, back and forth, Amanda and Q. But my favorite part was, this is a hard question to answer because they don't want to shit on their sisters, but they have to shit on one. You have to answer the question. Q, on the other hand, was like, one name, I'll give you two. She was like, Amanda or Tsunami, both, I don't know. Bitch, I am getting some very strong Alexis Michelle vibes from Q. She is incredibly polished, incredibly good at what she does. But the attitude, the communication, it's a little extreme. It's a little silly. It's silly.
Yeah.
She's being silly. So we find out that the judges agree, and the bottom two are, in fact, Q and Amanda.
Yeah.
Which was kind of fun, I gotta be honest. Here's the issue. We get a lip sync. Amanda clearly won that lip sync. I'm sorry.
That's the problem.
She clearly won that lip sync.
Yeah.
The editors, however, put in overtime. I think they had to work a couple extra days. And they tried their best to make it look like Q won that. But she did not. Let's be honest.
No.
She did not.
No.
There were moments where she truly was not on the beat at all. And again, as a sufferer of that disease, whiteness, I've been there.
RuPaul, but 2 minutes earlier, literally just said, and let's face it, Q was the worst dancer up there. Like, she called her out.
Yes.
Which can't feel good.
She got on the ground and tried to do that, like, bouncing her butt and her back, and it didn't quite work, and then it looked like she just got up in defeat, which I don't know why they showed that. She clearly lost, but they do send Amanda home, and I understand why, because truly, Amanda needs to grow more. I want to see Q's runways. I don't want to see any more of Amanda's.
Yeah.
Maybe because the song was kind of weird and it allowed for kind of weird movements. Maybe they thought Q would be okay, but she lost that lip sync. She super lost it.
She did.
It was bad.
She lost it.
Weird.
And that ends another episode of RuPaul's Drag Race. I saw a tweet today that was like, they are perfectly set up. Amanda and Mirage both are perfectly set up for an All-Stars return. And I couldn't agree more. I want to see more of them. I want to see more of Amanda when she's got a little more polish on her. I want to see more of Mirage immediately.
Yeah, bring her back. Bring her back.
And I love her.
Well said, Alexis. Truly, beautifully put. So if you would like to be back next week with us, hopefully the rain stops and my little rain bubble goes away so we can film in here again. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, of course, the notification bell.
Join us on Patreon, won't you? Patreon.com/IMHOtheSHOw.
Also, we're both on Cameo. Go to Cameo and do that.
Or you can get a Cameo. Go into IMHOtheSHOW.com, get a Cameo.
We are going out of town this weekend for the Love Fest event in Champaign, Illinois. So Cameos will be further delayed. So, sorry. Thanks. Also, all of our merch is at dragqueenmerch.com. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, Alexis, I have very exciting news.
Yeah.
That I already told you. So act surprised because I don't think you listened to me. I am nominated for an award.
You
okay?
are?
I am nominated for an award. Precinct in downtown LA, where Fat Slut and Bitchin' and Such As and Sugar Tank are. It's the bar I've been to the most since I've been to LA, and it's the one I feel the most excited to go to. They're having their first ever, the inaugural Precincts, which is their award show, and I was nominated for Best Drag Performance for Tequila.
Yeah.
Which is where I sing tequila and I just do shots of tequila and I get really sick.
You live sing that. I forgot.
Yeah, I warm up a lot. It takes me a long time to get ready for that. I was just really excited. I mean, I'm up against Meatball doing George Santos, and that obviously should win. But just the fact that enough people thought of me to nominate me made me feel like the queer teas last year made us feel a part of the community in a larger way. This being like a downtown LA bar, and I'm nominated for something, I don't know, it just made me feel accepted in LA, even though I know I'm not accepted by all, people with taste. I'm just really excited, and voting goes until I think the 9th. So you can go to precinctdtla.com/awards and you can vote for me.
Yes, everyone vote for Darby. Can you vote every day, or is it just like once?
Yeah, I think so.
I've already voted. I voted yesterday. I'm going to vote again.
I'm just really excited, and there's going to be an award ceremony. Tony Soto is hosting, and I'm just really thankful to have been included.
I'm so proud of you.
I feel like I already won just being nominated.
You did.
Also, I'm not a performer. I don't consider myself a performer. And I like when my performances are well received because I can go, what? Me? Like that.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. And I know that I have not been nominated, I know that being your plus one for that evening is going to be a joy for me as well. I'm going to be arm in arm with you.
You're working
on that red carpet.
Day. Unfortunately,
and I'm going to be
you're very busy that day.
So excited to show you off as my best friend that evening.
I'll let you pay for my Uber. Okay, can I read to you a comment that we got on one of our last videos that has stayed with me? I can't get it out of my head.
Oh,
Kylie Minogue
yeah.
once said. Remember the episode we did and I talked about Susan Smith killing her kids, and as a kid I knew she did it?
Yes. How you know about lies or whatever.
I know. I can see the lie. So Foxy Codone, that's funny, 4779 said, Darby, when you told your Susan Smith story, for some reason it reminded me that when I was little, I heard on the news that Mike Tyson bit someone's ear off, and I didn't know he was a boxer. I thought he was just going around biting people, and for months I checked the shower to make sure he wasn't in there waiting to bite my ears. I don't know why I remembered that or posted it to your comments. I'm so sorry.
Don't ever apologize for
What's
your name?
The shower, Foxy Codone. I checked the shower to make sure he wasn't in there waiting to bite my ears. Once you get the taste. Oh
my God.
I bet he'd love these. Look at them.
They're so delicate.
This one's filled with wax. I can't hear out of it very well. How do you clean that?
Oh, bobby pins.
Leave it in the comments below.
Bobby pins.
I'm not familiar with her work. Oh, I have one more thing. I'm sorry. I just have so many thoughts.
You just take the hook of that and you go in. I have an earbud in. It scoops it out. And then you put it right back in your hair. It's gorgeous.
Okay, do not follow that advice. Legally, we have to say that is stupid. Speaking of stupid, I have this thought. You know when people say, go after your dreams, do what you want, life is short. Yeah. Life is short, nothing matters. Which I'm guilty of it. I say it all the time too. I think a better phrase for that is life is hard. Because life is short makes you panicked. It makes you feel like you've done something wrong. You're wasting your time. Life is short. Hurry up. Go live your dreams. What are you doing? Life is short. It puts you at fault. You're somehow in the wrong. And then when you don't immediately get up and do stuff, that's all you're thinking is that I'm wasting time. But with life is hard, do what you want. Life is hard. That's more, you're surviving, okay? You're not at fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Life did it. It's really hard. So I think instead of saying life is short and victim blaming, let's be honest, I think we need to believe women and say life is hard.
That is a beautiful, beautiful sentiment, Darby. I feel
thank you.
Like you're in your Brene Brown era. And you know what you've said has really touched me. Life is hard. And penises are hard. So much like a penis, you have to grab life. And you have to just yell right at it and show it who's boss. Okay?
I did one of those once. I was... Well, don't Mike Tyson it. He does ears. I was giving a blowjob once, and I'm a laugher. I giggle when I have sex. I think it's funny. I think it's funny to talk. I think it's really funny.
It's clumsy.
I think sex is hilarious.
It's stupid. Yeah.
It's stupid. Life is hard. Life is hard. I was giving this guy a blowjob, and I was feeling very happy because I was giving this guy a blowjob. So I was like, would it be funny if I told him a joke with his penis in my mouth? So I did. I don't remember what the joke was. I'm sure it was incredibly funny. He did not laugh. He did not laugh. He said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm telling a joke. I thought it would be kind of funny. And he said, oh, okay. Can you go back to it? Can you just like suck it? And I was like, okay, Dad. Listen, life is hard. Tell a joke when you can. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Darby, that was fun.
Thanks.